Hello and welcome to a new episode on Sadhana World Foundation. Today we will talk about something from our day-to-day lives. Think of a situation at our homes when a vase breaks. We ask the child who broke it. What happens? The child shifts the blame to the sibling or to the puppy running around in the house. Similarly, think of a situation in our workplace. We have a tight deadline, a lot of work to be completed that day, or an important presentation to be made that day. An employee who is to play a role in this whole process calls in sick, says that I can't come. Similarly, think of the politicians, how often they shift the blame to someone else when there is a scam or a major goof up. People around them want to know who's responsible for it, but the discussions shift to something else. These are all smoke screens. A child is probably scared of facing an angry parent and hence is concealing facts, is shifting the responsibility to the sibling or the puppy. Similarly, an employee doesn't want to take the additional workload that day. A politician doesn't want to lose the support of the support base and hence creates a complex narrative which his or her supporters get distracted, shift their attention onto something else which may not be as important as this one. What do our ancient texts talk about these smoke screens? Are they relevant in today's world or they were relevant sometime in the past? Think of the game of dice in the Mahabharata, the great Hindu epic. The hosts, the Kauravas, used loaded dice. The dice were loaded to favor the Kauravas. And the Pandavas, particularly Yudhishthira, the eldest of the Pandavas, was a great player and of course was proud of his skills in the game of dice. He did not realize, in spite of losing multiple times, that there may be something which is wrong in that game of dice. Duryodhan, the eldest of the Kauravas, was ambitious. He thought that he could use the loaded dice to fulfill his ambitions of becoming the king of the entire universe known to him. So he wanted to defeat the Pandavas through this game of dice. The game of dice was the smoke screen, and the Pandavas fell prey to this. Now let's think of the Trojan horse. There was a big fight between the Greeks and the Trojans. And after a long fight, the Greeks and the Trojans agreed for peace. And the Greeks acted as if they were sailing away, leaving behind a giant horse as a peace offering. And the Trojans were very naive to believe that the Greeks actually were so nice and left behind a beautiful gift for them. They took the wooden horse inside their city walls without knowing that they were Greek warriors hiding inside the horse. After they took the horse inside their city walls, their downfall started. We have many such stories in our ancient wisdom, in our ancient texts. So what do we learn from all this? We learn that there will be smoke screens. We have to figure out a way of seeing through the smoke screens. The smoke screen hides the facts from us. Like the Pandavas could not understand that the Kauravas had huge ambitions and they were actually not invited for a friendly game. Of course, all of us know what happened to the Kauravas. Unchecked ambitions do not work. But it took a long struggle, many years of suffering on the part of the Pandavas to settle the score. If at all they were wise enough to see through the smoke screen, they would not have faced what they faced. The point is that smoke screens will appear on our lives, on our journey of life. We have to figure out that there could be a smoke screen. The Trojans were brave, were wise, but could not see through the smoke screen of the horse the intention of the Greeks. Big events in the world have happened where great politicians, influential politicians, great leaders have distracted the attention of their stakeholders from the real issue. Not many years ago, influential and powerful leaders told us different stories when we wanted to know if the petroleum fuels used in the factories and the vehicles have an impact on our climate. They talked to us about nice stories about development. They told us about the bright future that all of us have if we have economic development. We did not get the answer to the question that we were raising. Hence, I think there are three things which all these stories tell us. Firstly, we need to examine particularly the situations which seem to be extremely perfect, the situations which seem to be extremely good, extremely favorable for us. There may be something harmful coming on our way in future. That's number one. We must ask questions. We must do our own research. Secondly, we need to check our emotions when we are in interesting situations. We talked about the pride of the Pandavas, pride of Yudhishthir. We talked about the naivety of the Trojans. And thirdly, we need to be careful if someone is distracting us in a discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear children, thank you for thinking about the smoke screens in our lives and thinking about ways of dealing with them. I look forward to our future conversations.